The law of attraction, the one thing they didn't tell you. Welcome to Spirita Vivo. Why doesn't the law of attraction work for me? I want to get what I want. With others, it seems to work, only not with me. Can't I manifest properly? What am I doing wrong? It seems to be complicated. These are the questions we want to answer in today's podcast. We have heard from many that they ask themselves these very questions and sometimes have already given up on placing their order with the universe. Maybe you've already studied many books and videos about the law of attraction, but so far it hasn't worked, right? In today's podcast, we're going to teach you this one piece of information, this piece of the puzzle to successfully manifest. It's exactly what some other authors in this field haven't told you yet. Let's get started.
This one thing we're going to talk about today, no one probably tells you about the law of attraction, and that's why it doesn't work for so many. In fact, successful manifesting is like a house that stands on a stable foundation or pillars. Each of these pillars must be such that the building is supported. If one pillar is missing, the building cannot stand. It doesn't work. This metaphor with the pillars and the building is to illustrate that it is the same with manifesting. You must know the necessary aspects. In this case, the intended pillars for manifestation to work. Sounds complicated? It's not. It's just a few basic things you should know. Once you master them, you will see how easy it is to connect with the universe, and the things and events you desire will enter your life. You will develop a routine in manifesting. It will be fun. You will become a master of your life, but only if you really want it. Okay, let's get started. Let's take an example so you understand what manifesting is all about. So you're at a very specific point in your life right now. Let's call it the starting point. Imagine a blank sheet of paper in your mind. You can also take a real paper and a pen in your hand. Good, now you draw a wavy line in the lower area across the paper. Then you draw a stick figure, a cross, a dot or whatever, on this wave at the bottom left of the paper. As I said, you do this mentally or in reality as you like. Maybe it will be easier for you to visualize it at the end of the exercise if you do it not only in your mind but in real life. I will explain what this is all about in a moment. Now, the designated spot at the bottom left represents where you are at the moment in your life. The wave represents the energetic vibration, what you currently are. Let's say you have a business. Even if you don't have one, just imagine it for this experiment. It doesn't matter here what kind of business it should be. Now imagine that you want your business to make $100,000 a month. However, you just turned over $5,000 or let's say $10,000 last month. This symbolizes the wave, or more precisely your current vibrational frequency. You are dissatisfied and you want to change that. You want to reach the goal, the $100,000. Let's go back to our paper where you drew your mark in the lower left corner and the wave. Now use your pencil to draw another wave across the paper above the bottom wave, then a stick figure or a cross or whatever you want. So you draw the second stick figure on the wave, top right. This mark represents you and where you want to go. This is your destination. This is the place you want to go. Both wavy lines mean the oscillations. The lower wave has a certain oscillation frequency, just like the upper wave has a very certain frequency. Let's look at the lower vibration. This represents all the things and events in your life right now. The people in your life and your relationships with them, the objects in your life and events. All of this is attracted to your current vibration. Your current vibration is the sum of your results that you attract into your life. In other words, your vibration determines your results. In order for you to reach your goal, which in our example is embodied by the mark at the top right of the paper, you need a different vibration. You have the opportunity to change your current vibration, to move from the lower wave on the paper to the upper wave, to stay with the example so that you can attract other things into your life, so that you can create other things, so that you can achieve other results. So to that end, you should change your vibration so that you can get to your goal, so that you can go from the point on the bottom left of the paper to the top right to that point. Okay, now you are asking yourself, how can I do this? Let's take a quick look at the steps to manifestation, the law of attraction. They are quite simple. Step 1. I ask myself exactly where I stand now. Step 2. Visualize where I want to be. You can paint this picture in detail, how it should be. What does this reality look like in the future? Step 3. I dive deep into the feeling I feel already now, how it would be to be there already. This is one of the most important steps. What is the feeling when I think about my future reality, my future life? Now we come to the most important point. This is one thing where so few people talk about it, too few among us put their focus on it. It's about letting go of wanting the end result. Because that's the one thing that keeps most people from making it work, from manifesting successfully. It prevents people from getting where they want to go. They hold on too tightly to the end result. People say to themselves, I have to make the 100,000. If I don't make the 100,000, I won't be happy. Then I'm not fulfilled. Then I'm not where I want to be. Then what happens when I think like that? Then I automatically go into lack. Because I automatically say to myself, where I am now, it is not enough for me. It is not good. I am not good enough. My life is not good enough. I have too little. The result is lack. You get stuck in that level of lack, or you slip even lower. So the secret is letting go. To make it a little more vivid, we talked about step 1, I make it clear where I want to go. You could compare it to the recipe of a cake you want to bake. Step 2 is visualizing where you want to go. With this, you prepare the cake pan. You think ahead of time? What mold do I put the cake batter in? Step 3 is put the cake batter in. That is, go into the feeling that the cake is already ready. And step 4 is let go. Putting the cake in the oven and waiting. But imagine you are baking a cake and every 2 seconds you open the oven and look in to see if the cake is ready. Will the cake then ever finish baking? No, because the heat doesn't get high enough, the oven can't do its job. It is the same with the universe. When you let go while manifesting, the universe starts working for you. It finishes baking your delicious cake. But that only happens when you let go, when you keep the lid of the oven closed and stop looking in. If you stop focusing on the cake the whole time, you are baking a cake. What do you usually do during this time? So you're walking around the house, watching TV or surfing the internet, reading a book, whatever you tend to do at that moment. You're doing something else. You're not staring at the cake in the oven the whole time, right? That's why the cake is finished baking, because you don't open the oven all the time. But that's exactly what most people do with the law of attraction. Letting go is the key. Because if you're attached, then you're preventing the universe from setting in motion the important mechanisms for this thing to come into your life. And this is about trust. You can trust because there is an intelligence that is greater than anything we are and anything we think we can imagine. An intelligence that makes sure. And now, the incredible thing. That makes sure that there are more planets than there are grains of sand on this Earth, as was said recently in a scientific TV documentary. Can you imagine that? I maintain that no one can conceive of it. There is an all-encompassing intelligence that created all of this from the Big Bang. As some scientists in quantum physics say, this intelligence works for you every day if you allow it. If you don't get in the way, if you don't fight it, then and only then will this intelligence help you create abundance on all levels. You have the basic right already when you were born, already from this moment on, to live in abundance, to be rich. Because, look, you didn't have to do anything for it. You were born because your soul had chosen your body. Blood that flows through your veins, air that you breathe, water that you drink. All these gifts have been given to you, have simply been there for you. You, of all people, if you can listen to this podcast, should consider yourself lucky, because you were born into this world where you don't have to fight for a drop of water, in this part of the world with a certain standard of living. Unfortunately, not all people can say that about themselves. Never forget, no matter where you live on this wonderful planet, even if your circumstances are currently adverse, the universe, the higher intelligence, is always there for you. Let me say it again, only when you let go, the universe can act for you. As I said before, most people say when they look at their current situation, I'm not happy until I earn that $100,000. I'm not happy until I find my dream partner. I'm not happy until I live in my dream house. I'm not happy until I live the life I want, and so on. What does this way of thinking mean? I am saying that I am not happy at the moment. I'm disconnecting from the higher vibration, from the point where I actually want to go. But the higher vibration means that I'm already happy now, that I am already at the point where I feel all that I am striving for. So many people say I want to achieve this and that, but they are totally unhappy in the present moment. If you don't come out of the present moment into the higher vibration, then it won't work. And if you can't let go in the present moment, from the here and now, then you won't achieve your goal. Because if you think that you have to reach your goal first in order to be happy, you're automatically saying, something has to happen on the outside first so that I can feel something on the inside. But it is exactly the other way around. The universe works from the inside out. Everything starts with your inner vibration, which creates your outer world, comparable to a mirror from the inside out. Of course, you want that goal. It is absolutely right that you focus on your goal. The way is that you are happy about the process. You are in joyful anticipation with every little step you are about to take. With each step, you are already trying to get more and more into that fullness, to get to where you want to go, to your goal. You bring yourself into the feeling of already being there. You celebrate the smallest success on the way to your goal. That's the path. Instead of focusing on the goal, you focus on the process, on the path to get there. If you do this every day, sharpen your inner focus on the progress, you will be happy, already now. Because if you say you can only be happy when you reach your goal, how much potential is there to find happiness in your life? Isn't it a hard life right now if you think you can only find happiness when you reach your goal? Fatal, isn't it? But if you are happy already now, happy about the smallest step, how high is your potential already now? Compare the two. Focusing on the process, the method helps you significantly to get to that higher vibrational frequency. And by doing so, you will reach your goal, your real purpose, much faster. It's important to always be clear about your desire, your purpose. What exactly is my purpose? And to keep targeting it, but not obsessively holding on to it. When you look at the progression, your growth evolves. We are here on the planet to grow, to experience new things. As contradictory as it may seem at first glance, at the end of your life, it's not about saying, "Wow, I made $100,000. I drove a Porsche, and so on. No, you're going to say to yourself, great, I've gone above and beyond. I did this and I did that, which totally surprised me in a positive way. I never thought that this great event would happen for me one day. How awesome is that? Finally, a few words to summarize. So, the secret that so few people talk about, basically, there are two secrets are, number one, let go, detach yourself from the end result. Set a goal for yourself. Sharpen your focus on that goal, but detach from it. And the second aspect is, number two, focus on the process, the method, the way to achieve your goal. Be grateful now for the growth that's behind you, for the growth that's ahead of you. Grateful for this one step towards your goal that you have just taken. Be happy about it, celebrate yourself. Then you are happy already now, and not only when you have reached your goal sometime sooner or later. If this podcast inspired you and you liked it, feel free to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to never miss an episode. We would appreciate it very much. Thank you, and see you soon on our channel.